Awesome. Well, it's such a unique experience to be launching a product and having a launch event all virtually, right? Regularly, we'd be gathered together with you there in Kuala Lumpur and be enjoying the energy we feel. But we're hopeful that the energy will be brought to each of you by yourselves, right? That you can bring that up and bring this energy and then carry that energy to the others. But one thing that I really love about that video, before we turn the time over to Claudia to teach us more about why Unimate is such an incredible product, is there's three big areas of emphasis, right, that they focus on in that video. And of those three people, well, one is those health benefits, which is a big part of Unimate, right? The performance improvement, the motivation to get out there and be active, go on that run and perform and do more that you would be able to than without it. But another part of it is the producing and the creating, right? And there's that older gentleman who uses the Unimate to fuel his ideas for his writing, his books, and then later his presenting, right? And sharing those ideas with others. And the Unimate is there because it helps him elevate that to a higher level of performance. And then the last one, well, it also is creating, right? Where that young lady is creating, but more than anything, I think the focus of that one is the relationship, the mood enhancement, and the ability of this product to make you feel like someone who's happier. And when you're happier, right, other people are happier to be around you and they want to be around you more. And so it's a quick look at these three amazing benefits that now we get to hear from Claudia as she explained to us much more about, well, what's in Unimate? What is it that helps us to have those benefits in our lives? And so Claudia, take it away, and we're excited to hear from you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's great to see you here again, and I'm really excited to share with you. You have no idea how long I've waited for this pre-launch. It was a long time. I remember last year when I was in Singapore, a few leaders were talking about how great Unimate is. So at that point of time, I thought that it was just another product and I didn't care too much about it. Until one time, okay, I remembered Sirin from Thailand, she gave me a packet of Unimate. And when I drank it, I felt different. And I knew that this product is really going to change my life. And to be honest, I have very intimate experiences with Unimate because it's more than just something that gets me through the day. It has helped me to cope through some really difficult challenges in life. Earlier this year, I have lost my grandmother. So it was a very difficult time for me and my family, and we were going through a lot of grief. So Unimate has really helped me to push through those moments and helped me to overcome. And now I'm here presenting to you today. So if you want to learn more about Unimate and you want to experience something different in your life, then this presentation will be really relevant to you. Okay, I think by now, everyone in this call will not be able to survive without your phones. We do everything with our phones, such as we pay with our phones, we go to places with our phone, need navigation, we look for reviews on our phone, there's entertainment on our phone, we even work with our phone. So the usage of our mobile devices has already become an integrated part of our life. And one of the reasons why using our phone is so engaging is because whenever we use it, our body releases a hormone known as dopamine. So dopamine is known as a hormone that is associated with rewards and feelings of pleasure. So that's the reason why you feel good, right? Especially, you're using your phone. When you see the likes coming in, when you're seeing extra follower count, you can't help but to feel elevated and happy as a whole. But do you know, the very same dopamine that's found in using our phones is also released when you gamble, when you smoke or you drink. And the danger is this dopamine is what makes usage of mobile phones extremely addictive. And the danger now is that the usage of mobile phones is not restricted. It's accessible to everyone. It's such like if you have a cupboard that has alcohol beverage, right? And you open that cupboard, inviting everyone to drink, even for individuals who are underage. I remember I needed to wait until I was 16 to have my first phone. Nowadays, I think children don't even have to wait until 2 years old, right? They're already watching the iPad. So because of this, we are all being very wrapped up, all right, into how we look like in social media. We care about what other people think about us, what people feel about us. Our social status is very important. And we've become an environment that's very obsessed about how are we being perceived. So because of that, it has churned a culture of comparison, a culture of high performance and demand. And this has caused a lot of social disturbance, a lot of stress, and a lot of conflict. And, not just work, we could be outside on events, and once you are back, when the stress has nowhere to go, we bring it home. So unfortunately, other people that are closest to us are the ones who suffer through our bad emotions. Even myself, some days when I come home, I don't even want to talk to my parents. I just want to go and sleep immediately, right? But, and sometimes I just feel like, and my dad calls me, right, whenever I'm home, I just feel really irritated, like, can you just please stop calling me, right? And this has caused a lot of conflicts in relationships, and nowadays people use their phone as a cop-out, as a way to escape from confrontation. So things don't get settled, issues don't get discussed. In the end, instead, they use their phones as an escape mechanism. So this is where we see a lot, all right, in a lot of social situations and gathering where people don't talk anymore, right? But they are using that time to look at their phones. So because of this, the constant release of dopamine and the constant release of hormones hyperactivates our brain. So this causes a lot of stress and trigger a lot of stress response in our body. So our body will then enter this fight or flight response. So originally, this response is designed for individuals during the prehistoric era. Okay, during those times, people have to hunt for food, they have to run. So this response enabled them to carry out very intense physical activity. However, right now, with our lifestyle, there's no physical activity involved. So it's a very costly response, all right? It costs our body a lot. And at the same time, we are always being stressed out. And report says it's not about big psychological event, like a traumatic event, It is the small stresses that accumulate, such as traffic jam, right? When you are stuck in the traffic, you'll be like, argh! And things like going into a MRT or a train, there's too many people and there's no place to sit, or even being in a crowded restaurant, for example. So are those incidences that cause an imbalance internally that are starting to stress us more than healthy levels. So prolonged duration in this fight or flight response is extremely detrimental to our brain health. So because of this hyperactivity in the brain, our brain will not know how to relax. It's always in the very uptight, tense position. Hence, initially you'll be very tense, you feel very anxious, and after a prolonged period of time, if anxiety is not being treated, it will lead to depressive illness. And because of this, I think it goes without saying, your entire circadian cycle, which is your sleep-wake cycle, will be disturbed. All right, you won't be able to sleep well, or you wake up late. And brain damage is also another thing. I went through this report from WHO, and it talks about the trend of non-communicable diseases over the years. So when I look through it from the past 20 years until now, it doesn't change much, all right? It's always the first few diseases at the top. But what came to my attention was the next 20 years, the projection that was put 2040. Number 4, the top 4 disease, non-communicable disease, is actually Alzheimer's. So when I look at that report, I was so shocked, because first of all, Alzheimer's, to me, I feel it's not a very common disease. I think it's quite unheard of. And usually people are old age that is not related to me would have this disease. But if this disease is able to make it to the top 4 list in the next 20 years, means individuals now at this age and this era is highly susceptible to gaining it in the next 20 years. So I think this is a very stunning fact. And okay, not to mention your immune system may be compromised and inflammation. And as a result, everyone is looking for a cure, right? Everybody wants to feel better about themselves. What can I do to not feel so moody? How can I make myself feel better and more motivated? So there are a lot of modern day cures, all right? The world is constantly giving us suggestions. So one of those things is this, right? Coffee. Everyone cannot survive without coffee. And we have, our tea that we enjoy drinking from the roadside, from stalls, carbonated beverages, bubble tea, right? And this food gives us a sense of comfort when we eat. And for me, I am a sweet tooth junkie, so when I look at this food, can't help but to feel tempted, all right, in all these fried foods. So all this food, yes, they do give you temporary relief, but they come with long-term payoff. So as a result, this leads to a cascade of lifestyle diseases. We have now entered an era where diseases does not happen purely due to the manifestation of a disease. It is all now, almost every disease that you can think of is related to our lifestyle. So these are a few common ones. We have obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer of various forms, of any form that you can think of. So it is a very serious issue. And according to this report from WHO, NCD contributes 71% of global death in the whole world. Okay, and what stood out to me was, out from this 71%, 80% are premature death. It means individuals are passing on before their expected lifespan. So I think this is pretty scary because I'm quite young, right? So for this to be such a big figure, it means that even I myself cannot be too certain about my health. So Unicity has already developed this foresight. I think 10 to 20 years ago when this company was built, they already knew the impacts and the implication of these diseases. So for the past decade, we've been working really, really hard, okay, doing everything we can to fulfill our mandate to make life better. We scour the entire planet, okay, to look for all kinds of ingredients that you can think of, constantly innovating new procedures, new processes. We even expanded the advisory board just so that we can provide a solution that doesn't only give temporary relief, but long-term sustainable results, that your life can be changed for the better. So during this journey, our scientists have came across this Aboriginal group of people, all right? We call them the Native American. So what stood out to them was that these individuals seems to be very happy and joyful, right? That they have this kind of joy that radiates within them, and they find it very fascinating, all right? Even though they are not as advanced as modern society, but why they have a joy that those modern people in this era does not have. So we latch onto this research done by anthropologists who spend the time and investing their time and effort to research, all right, the state of mental health in these Aboriginal people. So we did a very extensive questionnaire and interview we interviewed, the anthropologists interviewed 2,000 people. So out of these 2,000 people, there's only one marginal case of mental illness out of 2,000, you know. And this is 100 times lesser than the modern society now. And what makes this even more fascinating is that these people are living very hard life in reality. Come think about it. All right, these people, they do not have a permanent home like us. You know, they have to always shift around. All right, and they are always faced with very harsh environmental conditions, and they have very high infant mortality. They have high risk of infection and diseases, but yet they are able to maintain such a high quality of life. So what's the secret? So then we realize this. Okay, missionaries identified that these individuals enjoy drinking this beverage, you know, as yerba mate. That they drink it in large amounts, and they drink it as a social events, and there are even rituals that's conducted for yerba mate. So of course, we can't miss out this opportunity. All right, so we did everything that we can to source this plant. All right, so this plant can only be found in this part of the world, which is very near Paraguay, and cannot be found anywhere else in the planet. So this is where we immediately go there and establish our plant. So this is how it looks like. And a lot of care and effort is put into the process to ensure that we have the highest quality yerba mate. So this is the 5-step process, all right, that we put a lot of heart into it. All right, first it's hand-picked. We don't use any machinery for this. It's fire roasted to activate all the bioactive compounds. It's extracted. After that, we bring it to Switzerland, all right, to do another round of extraction. And then we concentrate some more. Then in the end, we purify it to ensure that it's clean and free from any kind of harm or toxic materials. So you can be rest assured in terms of quality, it's taken care of by our team of experts. And also, do you know that stress kills our brain cells? All right, when I came across this, I was also very shocked. I have no idea that stress has this kind of capacity. And do you know that stress will destroy nerve cell in the hippocampus? So hippocampus is part of the brain that's situated behind of our skull. It's responsible for emotion, learning, and memory. And now thinking back, I think it makes sense because I recall back an experience that I had really intense stress. I tend to forget where I put my things, all right? For a second, next time I forget where I put my specs, my keys, and then when people are talking to you, the next minute you forget everything that they tell you, right? Your short-term memory is just like diminished very quickly. And at the same time, it also hampers regeneration process of our nerve cell. And then stress can also shrink the brain. All right, this is also really startling to me. And I recall one experience when I was younger. Okay, I still remember I was just done schooling. All right, so we were staying with my relative at that time. So when I went in to the living hall, suddenly I heard a loud bang. You know, someone was slamming the table, and I heard a loud shout. Okay, someone was throwing a big tantrum. So of course we were all really startled, and we were also afraid. So when I went to the living room, I saw my poor cousin crying and wailing in fear. All right, so we were also very shocked. And this uncle of mine, he's actually very kind. All right, he's very kind, he's very loving, and it's very unlikely for him to manifest this kind of behavior. So what happened was, apparently the living room, there's stacks of books, all right, there's bookshelf. So apparently one of the book came out of alignment, all right, so it dropped or something like that. So suddenly, you know, the kind of tantrum, right, is World War III one, you know. It's like super explosive. That's because when it shrinks the brain, the white matter is reduced. And our ability to have self-control, especially on our emotions, is hampered. This explains why, you know, some people, they can act out of behavior. You know, even though they are always very good, you see them very well, but all of a sudden, just one small trigger, you can see them explode, you know, and you have no ability to control their state of mind, right? And when this happens, our problem-solving skills and critical thinking is also being reduced. this is why it's very important that we find something, all right, just something that can help to protect our brain, since it's going through so much damage and it's going through so much of stress on a daily basis. So I'm very proud to share with you on findings that our yerba mate is able to influence the genetic expression that controls fear. All right, because due to our environment, the switches that is attuned to fear is switched on. So now we have to regulate these gene switches. We have to switch off these fear switches and switch on the relaxing switch in our genes. So first of all, we have chlorogenic acid. All right, I've done a number of reading on this, and I'm very surprised to find a lot of beneficial effects. So first of it, it's able to protect our nerve cells. All right, they have neuroprotective effects. So I found through this study that this chlorogenic acid can inhibit neurodegenerative effect of those harmful enzymes. So it can inhibit those effects. So by inhibiting those things, our neurons become more activated and is able to communicate even more effective in the brain. And this is only just one of the benefits, all right? There's many other benefits of chlorogenic acid. It improves the metabolic function, heart, even your liver cells, antibacterial, inflammatory, anti-cancer, so on and so forth. Not just that, all right? It does not stop there. Chlorogenic acid also improves moods and exercise performance, right? In this study, we can see that people have, you know, higher mood behavior and improved exercise performance. Right, these are the other benefits, all right, from this study. Okay, and we do not only have a tiny bit of chlorogenic acid, all right, we have a lot more from a standard yerba mate powder, okay, 375, 60, and 100 times. So you get the picture, all right, we have high amounts of these beneficial nutrients that can help protect our brain. Okay, just to share with you, I'm not a very avid athletic, okay, person. All right, I don't really exercise a lot. So I remember doing plank and I really suffered. Okay, that was during MCO. Okay, it was so tough for me because I don't do it habitually. So there's one time I just wanted to experiment with Unimate. So usually I cannot hold for even 1 minute. All right, so I just wanted to try. So when I use the Unimate, right, I suddenly find myself able to stand there without thinking about time, you know. Because usually when I was not able to do it, I will feel very sore. And immediately I just want to give up. Like you just feel like giving up, you know. But for some reason using this, I find myself standing for a longer period of time. And like I was able to surpass 1 minute using Unimate. So, you know, it really helps me to strengthen my exercise performance, and I have more confidence in myself that I can now do more intensive exercise. So if you don't believe me, or I may not seem to be credible to talk about science and sports, then we can listen to Zach Bitter, right? He's a renowned ultra marathoner. Okay, we're talking about ultra marathoner, right? He breaks the world record using Unimate. And just to give you a bit of context, 100 miles is 160 kilometers, all right? It's KL going to Malacca on foot, all right? And he does it in under 12 hours. So I think it really works, right? For people who, like me, don't exercise much, and for people who are really athletic, who want to see breakthrough in their sports performance. It's effective for both aerobic and resistance-related exercise. Next, I also want to talk a little bit about coffee because I'm also addicted to coffee once upon a time. All right, the reason why I reach out to it a lot is because it helps me to get through the day. But the problem is it gives me jitter and increases my heart rate. But with Unimate, I don't feel such a thing. Okay, whenever I drink, I just feel alert, all right, and energized. And after drinking coffee, I used to always feel nervous, right? And we always associate this nervousness with excitement. But after drinking Unimate, I know it's not the same at all. All right, it gives excitement, happiness, and a kind of confidence. You know, that you feel like you can do it and you can get through anything you need to do today. And like coffee, yes, it gives you the sugar rush, high instantly, but it crashes immediately. But for Unimate, I don't feel the same. It's a very gradual increase, and you just feel good and calm, right? And there's an addiction when it comes to it, and you feel like you can't live without it the next day, and you feel very, very frustrated when you're on it. So like for me, after taking Unimate, I really feel like I don't have to feel addicted to it. But if I want to take extra, I will, right? Like for example, to prepare this presentation, I need to take 2. But it's a good kind of energy that I feel. And usually in coffee and coffee drinks, it has hidden calories and it's loaded with tons and tons of sugar. But for Unimate, there's no this problem. It's only 3 calories, right? It's close to 0. So you can enjoy all these benefits, all right, without having any long-term health consequences. So one of the reasons why Unimate have the kind of sustained energy release, when you don't feel that crash, is due to this called theobromine, right? This is found in high amounts in dark chocolate. And we have extracted this polyphenol to give us this kind of effect. That's why it's so special. You feel focused, you feel that you can do anything that you set your mind to do. And good news is we have 3 times more theobromine than a standard dark chocolate. So you don't have to worry about excess calories from chocolate. You can just take it straight from Unimate. And thirdly, there's also another active ingredient known as saponin. Right, saponin is a polyphenol that garners a lot of interest in the area of medical sciences. The reason why is because it's able to promote regeneration of nerve cells. I think this is really very important because just now we learned how our nerve cells get destroyed whenever we are stressed and how our brain shrink. So this is such an important function for our brain. So according to this study, I think the title says it all. This phytochemical can have potential, in the future to cure clinical depression. So the problem right now with current therapy methods is that they are not effective and they do not garner therapeutic success. So there's a lot of scientists are trying to find alternatives to improve overall depression treatments. So they are now doing a lot of science and research on this. One of the reasons why it's so promising is because it's able to restore brain hormone imbalances. Because for individuals who have depressive symptoms, their neurotransmitter is no longer the same like us normal human beings. So they will restore back the hormone imbalance, which is amazing. People usually need to use drugs to achieve this kind of result. And it's also able to improve stress response. All right, through stress models, they find the individuals are able to be more adaptable to stress. And then they will not fall or feel worried so easily. So I think this is really a very, very good finding. And I think it supports the use of Unimate, and I'm really glad to know about this. So Unimate is the only drink, the only supplement that can give us all 3 of these benefits. And not just only that, you learn about how it can protect the brain. Isn't it wonderful? So why do you need Unimate? It's simply the best, all right? Don't really need a lot of explanation anymore. I think if those facts that I explained just now did not convince you, I do not know what will. And it's able to give us alertness in the mind, okay, energy, emotion, make us feel happy, stable, calm, and confident about ourselves. Because of this, we are able to form better relationships, and we are able to have the endurance. This is not just only endurance during exercise. Okay, exercise is one part of it, but I'm talking about endurance in your personal life challenges. If you want to achieve a goal, you want to continue to build your business, and there's a lot of discouragement, right? So it's very easy to fall and to give up in those instances. So it gives you the endurance to tell you that, hey, you can be adaptable to this stress. And the best thing is it changes your perspective. Your surrounding may not change, but there's just something in you that's different, that you're able to look at your challenges in a very different light. So with Unimate, you can now cross over, all right, from fear to courage, and to do whatever you set your mind to do and you've always wanted to do. And you can enjoy your social life, okay, get to know new friends, you can be confident about yourself, you can feel good about yourself, and you can achieve whatever dream that you have in your mind to do. So it's time to love your brain with Unimate. So that's it for my sharing. I think there's something wrong. Oh, sorry. Okay, there's some technical glitch. Okay. Yes, Sam, you can continue.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Claudia, for sharing that. There's a lot of history there that I wasn't aware of either, and learned a lot. And so please reach out to Claudia with your questions, right? She is a great resource, and she can give you much better responses and answers to your questions on the phone, on a one-on-one Zoom, or in person at the office than we're often able to do through a Zoom call group meeting like this. And so please do take advantage of having her there to help you. But we have some more we want to learn and some other people we want to hear from today. And so I'm going to stop talking so we can get to the video and also to hear from a very important person and her experience with Unimate.
Those who don't look forward stay behind. This is why at Unicity, we're building off our heritage and a 1,000-year-old tradition to usher in the next stage of metabolic and mental health. The yerba mate plant has been used in South America for centuries for its powerful physical health benefits. We've developed a patented process to take the scientific potency of this plant to a whole new level. With yerba mate as its primary ingredient, Unimate is unrivaled in its ability to promote proper gene expression in the body. Unicity's patent-pending genome-ceutical science allows maintenance of the metabolism in ways not thought possible a few short years ago. Yerba mate grows in one of the most fertile and pristine places in the world, a region of South America known for its lush vegetation and rich red soil. This is the only place yerba mate grows, and we harvest it here at the source. Using our patented 5-step process, we then take yerba mate and increase its effectiveness and benefits by selectively removing and enriching the gene-regulating compounds from the plant. Each leaf is hand-picked to ensure only the highest quality material is used. Then batches of these leaves are fire-roasted to activate the molecules and produce the most bioactive material. We then target and extract the most potent molecules from the leaves, producing a more concentrated and powerful material 375 times more effective than traditional yerba mate. We then remove any impurities or contaminants, resulting in the purest and most effective material in the industry. Unimate contains high concentrations of theobromine, L-theanine, and chlorogenic acids, which are widely known for enhancing our mood and productivity, making Unimate a more effective and healthier alternative to your typical morning drink, like coffee, tea, or energy drinks. Unimate supercharges the qualities of traditional yerba mate to produce a variety of powerful benefits. It enhances your mood and sharpens your focus. It enables you to take action, do more, and push yourself further. It can improve your overall perspective, like turning on the lights in your brain, maybe for the first time. Unimate is a fundamental part of a healthier future and is exactly the type of revolutionary product you'd expect from Unicity.
All right. I think this is a great video, and it sums up really nicely about what we talked about just now with our 5-step processes, and how our formulation came about to its potency and effectiveness. So yeah, we are very proud to introduce Joan. Okay, she's someone who have enjoyed the benefits of Unimate. So we hand over the time to Joan Lim. Let's welcome her to share her wonderful experience with Unimate. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Can.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share with you my experience with Unimate. And I believe I have some slide, right, Claudia? Okay, this is a picture in N2016, and this is a time where I was introduced to Unimate, my first box, during the convention in Singapore. And since then, I believe my life has been different. Can I have the next slide? So when I look at Unimate, one of the words that connect to me is me happy. So how I take Unimate is I like it hot and I also like it cold. I usually drink it cold when I need to do my exercise. Now, I am not young, but during the transformation, the metabolic transformation, there was a bit of exercise that I need to do, like heat. And you know, when I look at the video, I thought it was a bit too much, too heavy for me. So, but I remember Unimate talks about endurance. So what I did is I actually mix Unimate with BioSlife E in the morning, and I could actually do my workout very well. And every time when I need to extend my, increase my workout, I will have Unimate. Now, Unimate is not available in Malaysia. So during that time, I only use it occasionally when I need it. Now, if you look at all those pictures that I've collected, this is the drink that I love. You know, when I have friends coming over, I don't drink beer, but does it look like a beer? One of the picture. So it is a happy drink, happy celebration, and we just enjoy cheering with Unimate. Now, during the transformation, there are food that we enjoy and the food that we should avoid. Now, one of the food that I love to eat is sweet potato. Now, sweet potato, according to our custom, our Chinese way of preparing, normally we'll put the ginger, we put the water, we put the ginger, and then we'll put sugar. Now, this sweet potato that I did, there is no sugar at all. In fact, I don't like to use sugar in most of my food nowadays. And I think it looks delicious, right? With the chia seed, everything. So I have a healthy dessert there. Okay, we have the next picture. Now, isn't this colorful? My children love dessert. I make jelly with strawberry, with kiwi. I make cake. If you look at the cake, if you look at the green, the top is actually LC essence, and the bottom layer is actually Unimate. So, you know, we can do so many things with Unimate. And my daughter loves ice cream. Now, she is diabetic. I don't give her anything that is sugary, only occasionally. So if you look at the coconut Unimate, I call it coconut Unimate. You know, my friend gave me a fresh coconut, and I put it, and then I put the Unimate inside, and she got her ice cream. You know, and the cake, cranberry Unimate cake. And because it was her birthday and she wants the cake to be distributed to the friend, and I just play around with Unimate. Now, when I look at Unimate, you know, we are talking about good mood in the family and all that. And I think it is a beautiful drink, beautiful beverage, and that gives me the happy feeling. Now, there are times when I have appointment, I have to make important decision. There are pressing issues that needs my personal attention. Unimate is my companion. I will start the morning with Unimate, and sometimes I will just do a shake and carry it along with me in my car, and that's where I'll drink, and I will think about what I need to do, the decision that I need to make. It really helps to calm me down a lot. And I want to relate one incident. I have a meeting with a prospect, a guest. She came to the office, and I look at her. She seems very fidgety, restless, and I normally have extra packet of Unimate in my bag. So when I look at her, I told myself that no point going into conversation with her if she is not settled down. So I offer her a drink, and I say, I'll give you something that will help to cool you down and calm you down. So I actually mix a nice hot Unimate and I let her drink. And after 10 minutes, I can go on a smooth conversation with her happily. And yes, it builds relationship. And when I think about it, since I've been taking Unimate, I'm someone who have been drinking coffee all my life. And since 2017, I think probably until now, I probably have less than 5 cups of coffee. So I don't miss coffee. And I'm so happy that Unimate is now in Malaysia. In fact, the office people in Malaysia know I've been asking for when is Unimate coming. Even though we have the Unimate fuel, I can create a lot of dishes with Unimate fuel and dessert with Unimate fuel, but I still prefer this Unimate because I can never forget. And this is something that I can depend on when I need to pick me up, when I need to elevate my mood and throughout the day. You know, one session can last just throughout the day. And if I have to go on stage to do training or speak to anyone, I will always have Unimate half an hour before that, and everything will just go very fine. And I tend to imagine that I will have smiles throughout that whole event. Yeah, I just want to thank Unicity and thank Sam, Claudia, and the Unicity for having Unimate in Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanne. I have to say, I'm amazed. I thought I was creative with some of these products, but you've taken it to another level. I took a picture so that I can start practicing.
It's so beautiful. You know, this is something that you want to have on your shelf.
Yeah, it really is. That is so cool. And I mentioned that last night, that I love it when people experiment and share the recipes with me. I know we have another person on this call, Gerald Ton, who told me, he shared with me how he likes the taste of banana with his Unimate. And that's something he's like to mix it with. And so there's so much you can do. And I believe, let me double check real quick to make sure that I'm not jumping ahead at this point. But we want to talk a little bit more about the promotion with this product, right? Because right today we're announcing the launch, and it's technically the pre-launch that we're talking about right now. But there's something special that's happening during the pre-launch. And so for the next 2 weeks, we're able to place orders for Unimate. And when you buy just 1 box of Unimate, you're going to receive 3 lemons for free with that, right? So you don't have to buy 2, right? But with just 1 box of Unimate, we're going to deliver some lemons. And that's because I am so convinced that for the people who've tried Unimate and thought, oh, I didn't like that taste, if you'll prepare it hot, like a tea, slice up some lemon in there, you're going to fall in love with this. Right? I've had it every morning for so long. And that's a big part of having a successful experience with Unimate, is helping someone taste it and try it in a way that they enjoy, right? In a way that they think, you know what? Yeah, with how good this makes me feel, I wouldn't need to drink coffee anymore, right? Because this gives me 10 times the benefits, and I love the experience of drinking it. And so our promotion is focused very much around that experience. And there's a lot of people that will ask, you know, should I take Unimate hot or cold? And it's true that you can do both, right? Which is a great thing. Because sometimes, especially in Singapore and Malaysia, right, it's hot. Or maybe we say all the time. And so despite it being so hot, well, sometimes you want to have that cold drink. But to be perfectly honest, Unimate is designed to be drinking hot. Right? This is a product that should be prepared like a tea. That's how it's been done for hundreds of years. And that's how it's designed for us as well. It mixes easier, right? You only need a spoon. Whereas when you mix it in cold water, it takes some time to get it all mixed up. But in hot, it dissolves almost right away. And now, we also are providing the mug for the people that get the 2 boxes. But then what we've also done is we've had some very premium kettles made. So these are kettles where you can choose which temperature, right? You can choose boiling, choose the French press temperature, and the different options. And we've had these engraved with unicity on them as sort of the premium item for people that buy 15 boxes of Unimate. And you might be wondering, why on earth would I buy 15 boxes of Unimate, right? That'd take me a year to consume. Well, that's probably true, right? But you wouldn't buy, hopefully, you wouldn't be buying 15 boxes of Unimate just for yourself, right? Anyone who does this, they're investing in their business, and they want a kettle, right? They want one of those premium kettles with unicity because there's a limited amount of them. But really, they're saying, look, I'm going to get a bunch of this because I'm building a business with this Unimate, and I can sell it to other people. But the other thing I want to announce is that what we're also going to be doing is having a drawing so that you can possibly win one of those kettles without buying 15 boxes of Unimate. Right? If you're sure you want it, then yeah, go ahead and order those 15. That might be what I'd do. But, right, let's say you're thinking, I don't have the time right now. I don't have the money to invest, but I still would love to get that one of those kettles. And we'll share more images of these. But what you do is for every box of Unimate that you buy during the 2-week pre-launch period, you will get one of your names into the box that we'll draw from. And then on the 21st of August, right, we'll have all those names in the box for every single box of Unimate you purchased or ordered during that period. And we'll draw out a name for someone to win one of those kettles. And so we'll explain more about this throughout it, but this is an exciting contest to hopefully add a little bit more energy into these 2-week periods where we're placing orders and waiting to collect our Unimate, our lemons, our mugs, and the kettles. And so, Haruman, I see, asked a question here about that promotion. And he said, is 15 boxes under one ID or combine multiple ID as long as it's an email order walk-in? And it needs to be under one ID, right? Because we can't get you and your 14 friends to go in the office and I'll chip in and then we have to fight over who gets the kettle. But if I am misunderstanding that, right, we can talk about it later, Haruman. And these are questions that our staff, CK, Claudia, Laura, our customer service staff, right, they'll be excellent in helping anyone understand the ins and outs of this promotion to make sure you know what you get and what you deserve for making the purchases. Now, on that note, right, we've learned a lot about Unimate in the last 2 days. And there's so much we can talk about, right? It seems like we could go on forever because these products apply to every person on earth and in so many different ways, right? There's no set scenario to use them, to benefit from them. We could describe 100 different scenarios right now for how they would be helpful, how they would improve and make your life better. And so one last thing I want to ask you before we finish up this launch and people get to learning more about this and sending questions in, placing orders, is I want to invite you to take images of not just the way you drink Unimate and use it, because yes, I am curious to hear about those recipes, what you end up doing, and any amazing recipes you come up with like Joanne. But I also want to see and hear about what you're able to do with Unimate, right? How does it unleash your potential? What were you able to achieve or enjoy because of the benefit it provided you, right? Those are stories that we really want to hear and we want to share them with others. And so as we launch this product and it starts to come into the market and you share it with your customers, you use it yourself, please share those stories with us, right? Send them to us on Instagram, the company accounts, my account, through the emails, face-to-face, right? I want to hear those stories and we love to hear about how it's benefiting. And so thank you everyone, once again, for joining us with this session, for participating in this launch. Thank you for our team for putting it together, for organizing it, the regulatory team for making it possible to have this product in Malaysia. Thank you, Joanne, for sharing your experience. And thank you very much, Claudia, for teaching us once again this incredible and powerful information. So have a great night, everyone. We'll be excited to answer the questions that come in, and have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your Unimate.